immediate right is Comrade Dr. Vuma Magaqa, who is the family spokesperson, as well as Comrade Magaqa's uncle. Next to him is Comrade Ronald Lamula. He was the deputy president of the ANC Youth League with Comrade Magaqa. And then right at the end, Comrade Ayanda Kasantsobi. She was the provincial secretary of the ANC Youth League in Gauteng when Comrade Magaqa led as Secretary General. As indicated, this press briefing has been called really to speak to the preparations for the commemorative events around Comrade Magaqa's life, celebrating his legacy, came together as these collectives that Comrade Magaqa worked with. The Secretary.
Okay, thank you, Comrade Kusala. This is the statement of the African National Congress Youth League. As you will notice, comrades are here. We also have comrades who served with Comrade Magaqa in the previous national executive committees of the Youth League. We have been in consistent contact with them as the ANC Youth League, so that we do a joint program to commemorate the life of Sindiso Magaqa. The statement I will read, comrades, as issued on the 11th of September 2017. The African National Congress Youth League is in mourning. Last week, young people across the country received with shock the news of passing away of former Secretary General of the African National Congress Youth League, Comrade Sindiso Magaqa. Comrade Magaqa was an outstanding militant and fearless revolutionary. He lived and gave of his life to the African National Congress. He committed and faithful to his ideals of robust engagement and justice. He understood, as we do, that in an open democracy like ours, and indeed in our organization, the ANC, political differences or disputes can never be resolved through something that is a barrel of a gun, but rather through superior logic, which should always prevail in political engagements. The killing, therefore, of such revolutionaries is senseless, heartless, brutal, and has no place in our movements and among those who profess to be part of our glorious movement. Comrade Magaqa's killers must not rest until they are behind bars. We are worried about the emergence of killings of politicians in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and as such, law enforcement agencies not acting on the killing of these political leaders. Law enforcement agencies must leave no stone unturned in the quest to find these criminals and others responsible for the rampant assassination of comrades. The ANC Youth League calls upon all its members and structures and anywhere else in the country where there are killing of political leaders to rise against this impunity. Young people must and shall be mobilized to defend our democracy and defend our movement. Gun-toting criminals who see our political leadership as a killing field must be exposed and flushed out. This new struggle for this generation of cadres is struggling against impunity, divisions, and disunity. The African National Congress remains the only reliable instrument in the hands of the people of South Africa for a better life. It remains incumbent on us, the youth, to ensure it is consistently sharpened, and where it strays, it is centered and rooted amongst the people. The ANC Youth League has further noted some unfortunate and extremely distasteful remarks made by those who seek to gain cheap political points on the back of Comrade Sindiso Magaqa's passing. They have used what should be a very solemn occasion to seek relevance and cast doubt on Comrade Magaqa's unflinching loyalty to the ANC. Such behavior must be condemned with the contempt that it deserves. It is an antithesis of the moral code we as a people should subscribe to, and serve no purpose as to position an erstwhile comrade at the expense of Comrade Magaqa, who is no position to respond. Comrade Magaqa's passing must and shall serve to assist us to transcend superficial differences of political affiliation, To this end, the ANC Youth League, working with the family of Comrade Magaqa, will continue to extend the hand of collaboration to those who work with our fallen fighters to ensure that as we pay homage to him, we do so in a manner that is befitting of his gallant contribution to the struggle of the South African people rather than tarnish them. We will ensure that all those who wish to pay respect to Comrade Magaqa beyond petty political differences are afforded an opportunity to do so, believing as we do that many will resist the temptation to use such platform for unsavory tendencies. Until his very last day, Comrade Magaqa remained loyal to the struggle of his generation and to the cause of his people. We who knew him and remained close to him until the very end will attest to this fact. Comrade Magaqa fearlessly worked for the unity of the organization. We must be inspired to emulate his example and foster unity within the movement. We must discard our preoccupation with its internal challenges and work with the people to resolve their problems of landlessness, poverty, inequality, and unemployment. The African National Congress Youth League is committed to the realization of this vision in honor of Comrade Magaqa and many of our fallen combatants who lost their lives in these killings. We are calling on ANC Youth League structures to use the commemorative events in honor of Comrade Magaqa to critically engage to advance our cause for economic freedom in our lifetime. The generational mission of economic freedom in our lifetime that Comrade Magaqa and his comrades pursued remained unfulfilled. As these generations were continuing consequent to the ideals of the struggles of our people and the ideas of young people, it is our fight to which we remain committed to drive its logical conclusion. Comrade Magaqa's family, the ANC Youth League, the 23rd and the 24th NEC collectives with the current NEC collective have worked collectively with the family and have joined efforts with the leadership of the ANC to give Comrade Magaqa a befitting farewell. The ANC Youth League 23rd and 24th and the current National Executive Committee are arranging a memorial service that will be held on Wednesday, the 13th of September at 15:30 at the University of Johannesburg in Soweto campus. The KwaZulu-Natal African National Congress, they are hosting a memorial service that will be held on Thursday, the 14th of September 2017 at 10 in a venue called Ebisa Sports Field, Umzimkhulu, KwaZulu-Natal. Through our engagements with the family, we are fully aware that the funeral service of Comrade Sindiso Magaqa will be held on Saturday, the 16th of December 2017, starting at 9 at Ibiza Sports Field, Umzimkhulu, KwaZulu-Natal. All services to be addressed by Comrade Magaqa's family, church, community leaders of the ANC-led alliance, and other comrades and friends he interacted with during his rich revolutionary life. Comrade Magaqa's death has robbed us and the entire mass democratic movement of a dedicated and selfless cadre of our movement, who always put the movement first, the interest of our people ahead his own. He was well known for his art of mobilizing, his consistent touch with the masses of our people, and more importantly, his uncompromising militancy and radicalism in the advance of the National Democratic Revolution. For all his sacrifices and activism to the end, we dip our revolutionary banner in his honor as we continue to pick up his spear to continue the fight for economic freedom in our lifetime. To Comrade Magaqa's murderers, we say his death will not go unchallenged. We will revenge by using state institutions to make sure that we unearth these criminals. Criminals must know that libele dinale bachi. Danger awaits them wherever they go. We will revenge his death by making sure that we continue with the ideals that he stood for, which are mainly represented by the 7 cardinal pillars which were adopted at the 24th National Conference under his leadership in a program for economic freedom in our lifetime. These pillars include, amongst others, the expropriation of land without compensation, the nationalization of mines, and other strategic parts of our economy, as well as massive investments in our education system in the quest of achieving free and compulsory education up to undergraduate level for the poor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade Jabulo. That was a statement of the ANC Youth League, the current leadership, as well as the collectives that Comrade Magaqa would have served with. As indicated, we did call this briefing for the purposes of ensuring that we clarify any issues that may still be out there in the public domain as it relates to Comrade Magaqa's passing. I will open for questions, and the leadership in front will assist us to answer those. Are there any hands? Number 1 here. See number 2. Number 3, Sam. Can I take those 3 and allow for blameways in the second round?
Good afternoon. Thank you for taking my question. It's Honora from the UA. Fears are mounting that the funeral on Saturday could be reduced to a battlefield. During the course of the past week, a war of words has ensued between the EFF and the ANC Youth League in KZN. So my question therefore is, will the EFF leader be allowed or is he invited to attend the funeral on Saturday? And secondly, with regard to the claim that Magaqa was either on the verge of joining the EFF or he was at some point in time contemplating joining the EFF, how true is this claim? Thank you.
Thank you. Are you covered? Okay. Step number 3.
Sanjay Sarah from Jakarta, from ENCA, sorry. But anyway, my question would be, look, the 24th National Conference of the ANC Youth League resolved on economic freedom in their lifetime with the 7 cardinal pillars. One question would be, does the ANC Youth League of today still hold those 7 cardinal pillars as a key motivator for their generational mission that they want to achieve? And is the Youth League still relevant as it was yesterday when it was founded by Julius Malema and those who are seated there? Do you still hold the mass ground and command the youth of this country as you used to, or you are a pale shadow of your former selves? Thank you.
Thank you. I can take another question since we had one person who was covered. No questions? Okay. SG, you directly you want to answer one?
Yeah, can you see that now you work for the NCA? I know the line of questioning of NCA. Every time we meet them here, they say, is the Youth League relevant? Is the Youth League able to command the masses? I mean, just yesterday we called thousands of young people in 3 different provinces and the young people showed us up. What does that tell you? It tells you that we continue to do our work. Never has it been done before that we have 3 events of the ANC Youth League nationally on the same day, which shows that we have learned from our forebears, we have learned from our predecessors, and we continue to chant the way. Part of the things we dealt with yesterday was that if we are remaining true to our struggle, we must always remember where we are coming from and why the ANC Youth League exists. The call for economic freedom in our lifetime was not made by an individual. It was a call that was made by a Congress of the African National Congress Youth League. And if you are to read documents of the last Congress where we reaffirm some of the decisions taken at that particular Congress, you can never narrowly deal with the organization as if it's a one-person show. It's an organization, it has organizational memory, it's a continuing organization, and as such, yes, we continue. And I think you know, it was just a question in any way. We would like to reaffirm that there is normality, there are not going to be any fights. We call for maximum discipline of all who are going to be attending the funeral of Comrade Sindiso Magaqa. We call for discipline in honor of Sindiso Magaqa. We have not heard anything about Sindiso Magaqa joining the EFF. I must make it clear, the Congress we had as the ANC Youth League, Comrade Sindiso Magaqa attended. When the ANC Youth League recently held a meeting with its former leaders, Comrade Sindiso Magaqa attended. Just yesterday, a couple of months back, Comrade Sindiso Magaqa attended the National General Council of the ANC. Policy conference. Sorry about that. Thanks for correcting me. Attended the National Policy Conference. It's because I'm thinking about our own NGC. Attended the National Policy Conference of the ANC. Exercised maximum discipline, participated in commissions, talked about the future of the organization. Even in his own area in Mzimkhulu, Comrade Magaqa was playing an important role in the life of the African National Congress. So for anyone to say that Comrade Sindiso Magaqa was actually about to join the EFF, it's unfounded. We know nothing as such. And it is even worse when people use the name of Sindiso Magaqa for scoring cheap political points. It is unwelcomed, it should stop, it can't happen anymore.
I will ask the family spokesperson if he could please speak to the issue of who will be allowed to speak, not speak, and how that will be handled. Thank you.
As a family, and traditionally, no one gets invited to a funeral. Everyone is allowed to attend a funeral. The issue of who should speak and not speak, we're still busy with drafting the program. Then we'll know late in the week. We'll complete the program by end of the week, before the end of the week.
Thank you, Dr. Magaqa. Taking the last round, I see a hand there. Is that the last hand? Your questions have been answered. Do you have a hand? No? Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. My name is Mama Polani from SABC Radio News. As a youth league, have you discussed the perceived idea that there seems to be a culture of impunity when it comes to political killings? And is this something you sit down and discuss on how to address it? Not only just the perception, but the reality of the fact that a lot of political killings are happening in KZN and in other parts of the country. Is this something that you are working on in terms of addressing it? Thank you.
It's fine. So, ANCYL, you can have a follow-up.
I'm sorry, I have to start this question. There is a video that has been circulating of bodyguards of the Luthuli, the regional secretary of the ANC in KZN. Those people in that video are very young. And if I'm not mistaken, they are of the age group of the ANC Youth League. As the Youth League, what are you doing to ensure that those who protect your senior leaders do not go around playing around with serious machine guns such as those, especially in a province that is plagued by political violence in your own party, where your own members of the Youth League, if I'm not mistaken, 4 in the past 6 years, have perished through the barrel of a gun. What are you doing? Okay.
Firstly, I must say that we are worried that political leaders get killed, whether they get killed for political reasons or it's criminality or for whatever reason, that there do not seem to be an end to it. We had the deputy chairperson of one of our regions as the ANC Youth League, and the law enforcement agencies till today, they have not concluded that issue, which to us do not just signal the problem of political leaders, of killing of political leaders not being resolved, but it means there is a problem with how we hunt down criminals. Probably it's as unfortunate that these are high-profile cases, but it is possible that a lot of people in South Africa who get killed, their cases end up not being resolved. And that is why we feel that we must take a campaign reinforce what is being done by the SAPS to make sure that the criminals are found. We must set an example by finding the criminals that have murdered Comrade Sindiso Magaqa. Whoever they are, wherever they are, and they must be held accountable and they must be dealt with. The other issue, which is a question around the video, I can't speak for the regional secretary in KZN, for the regional secretary in eThekwini, but he has made it clear that he employed services of a security company. Those people got reckless. They did what they did. He has since terminated their services and is now going to be using services of a responsible bodyguard service, security service. And that should tell the others who are given the responsibility to protect senior leaders of the movement not to play around during their work hours. And two, they cannot project an image that says the leaders of the organization are unruly just by playing such silly games. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nopala. Thank you to the leadership in front, and thank you to you, members of the media. The statement that was delivered by the SG will be circulated. Comrade Lonzi Mkhize, the national spokesperson of the Youth League, will coordinate your inquiries, as well as those that will send through to the Funeral Preparatory Committee. We thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we were taking you live there to Luthuli House. Of course, Sindiso Magaqa was gunned down, the ANC councillor from KwaZulu-Natal, announcing his funeral arrangements. We take a short break, more news to follow.